Hi, my name is Megan. I'm a nurse practitioner based in California, and I've worked with many patients that have used the Eclipse system. The Eclipse system is a new solution for women who have trouble with accidental bowel leakage or loss of bowel control. The insert consists of a base, which is flexible, and a balloon. It fits inside your vagina in the same location that a tampon would or a diaphragm. Once it's inside the vagina, the string comes out through the vaginal opening, similar to a tampon string. To insert the device, you make sure the balloon is in the deflated position. You flex the base and insert it into the vagina with the balloon down and facing towards your back. So the system includes a pump, which allows you to control the air that's in the balloon. It attaches to the valve, and in order to deflate the balloon, you attach the negative port and squeeze it a couple times until the pump becomes concave. To inflate the balloon, you attach the valve to the positive port and give it 7 to 10 slow, steady squeezes. If you squeeze it too quickly, you may limit the amount of air that's getting into the balloon. If you wanted to have a bowel movement, you would simply deflate the balloon, and you do not have to take the insert out of your vagina. So many women ask if the device is comfortable. When it is fit well, it is hardly noticeable, and it is comfortable, and many women actually say they can't feel it at all. A lot of patients ask about a comfortable position to be in while they're inserting the insert. There's a couple different ideas. It's similar to inserting a tampon. So if you could be lying down, you could be standing up with one foot onto a stool, or you could be standing up and just a little bit squatting, whatever feels most comfortable to you. If you're having trouble with insertion, make sure that the insert is oriented correctly with the balloon towards your back and down. If you're still having trouble, make sure that you first try to relax and try a different position. Once the insert is placed, you can simply squeeze your pelvic muscles a couple times or do a Kegel exercise a couple times, and this should help it settle into place. To remove the insert, you first need to deflate the balloon. So you attach the minus port of the pump to the valve and pump it a couple times until the pump becomes concave. Remember, when you're detaching the pump from the valve, not to pull on the tube, just hold it onto the valve so that you don't damage the insert. Once it's deflated, you're going to hook your finger around the base and simply pull it out. Do not pull on the tube, as you might damage the insert. If you are having trouble removing the insert, first relax, bear down with your stomach muscles, try a different position, but never pull on the tube, as it might tilt the insert away and make it harder to remove. If you are unable to remove the device because it's too painful or uncomfortable, you need to call your healthcare provider. The pump has a regulator, which is a safety mechanism that does not allow the balloon to become overinflated. So you could keep pumping it up and extra air will actually come out the regulator instead of going into the balloon. You're going to want to inflate the balloon after you have a bowel movement and a few times during the day in order to make sure it has plenty of air. So if you feel the device slipping when you're doing exercise, for example, you can just simply push it back into your vagina by pushing the base up into the vagina. If this occurs frequently or it causes any discomfort, you should contact your physician. If the insert is feeling unusually uncomfortable, first relax, remove the insert, and then attempt to reinsert the system making sure that the balloon is facing down and back. If you're unable to deflate the insert, you want to make sure that it is attached to the minus port of the pump. You want to make sure that the black part of the valve is pushed all the way into the pump. If you're still having trouble deflating the insert, you can remove the valve from the insert. And as a last resort, if you're still having trouble deflating the insert, you can cut the tube above the valve. If you're having trouble inflating the insert, first make sure that the plus port is connected to the valve and that the internal black part of the valve is pressed all the way down onto the pump. If the length of the tube is bothering you, simply contact your healthcare provider who can help you shorten or lengthen the tube. If the valve becomes soiled and you are unable to disinfect it, you will need to replace the valve. To do this, simply remove the valve from the connector like that, and you can replace it with a new valve.